Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. J and Professor Spike from Long Island, New York. We're keeping one eye on the markets and one eye on the weather. How's the weather?
The weather's actually fine. But I don't know.
Professor Spike is having audio-visual difficulties.
I guess. Well, let me take my glasses off you now.
Okay, glasses off. Now we can hear you better.
Right, that's why I tell people that I can hear them because I'm wearing a mask.
Yes, absolutely. We do have a request today. Stonehouse Coffee Mug wants us to chart BCRX. John Stonehouse has been a marvelous CEO who actually pumps his own stock. I like that. And a magnificent dancer is with us today. Shalom, M.A. Dr. J, can I ask you to put an end to shorting in small bio stocks by Mr. Market? I hear Mr. Market is afraid when you talk to it sternly. Thank you.
Dr. J has that much pull.
Okay, Mr. Market, quit shorting every doggone biotech that I own. How's that? How about we get an official hi from across the ocean? From Switzerland. Rego Marco is here with us today. And Andrew is with us and he's saying a big hi to everyone. To MA, Dr. J, Professor Spike, and friends. And what about a short on oil? I tell you, if you think Putin is bluffing, it might be a good play. If Putin doesn't go in and he the troops suddenly get withdrawn.
It's a different story. He's not withdrawn. He's just going to not go anywhere.
Well, he's going to keep the troops there forever?
Well, for a couple months.
You think a couple of months? This is going to go on for a couple of months? Is it a big bluff, or will he go in? What do you think?
I don't think he's going in, but I don't think he's withdrawing either.
So he's going to keep the troops there indefinitely.
Yeah, he's going to wait. He's going to wait till NATO goes off sides.
All right.
He's just holding the clock until NATO goes off sides. They're blaming NATO.
If he goes in, there's going to be a pop to about 125. So if you're short oil and he does go in, you're in trouble. That's the bottom line.
Right.
But otherwise, I think Citibank is probably right. I think it's a short-term phenomenon, this bump up in the price of oil. Because, the world is using less oil as we become more and more sophisticated with solar energy and EV and all of that.
These kind of things just shows us how we live on coal.
Coal, yeah. Whatever happened to the boilers that were going to burn coal super efficiently? I don't think they ever materialized.
I think they ever existed.
Remember a company called Foster Wheeler that had these boilers that they were going to become super efficient? Never really happened. I mean, too bad. If you could burn coal cleanly, that would be marvelous. There's tons of coal around.
Right.
But we haven't figured that out.
And if you eat without opening your mouth, that would be more efficient.
Yeah. I guess it's not so easy. So let's take a look at the charts. At least let's take a look at where the market is right now. I want to talk a little bit about crypto. I've been buying crypto like crazy lately. Really calculating.
He wants us to talk about AVXL at some point. I wouldn't mind doing that either. because remember he got in pretty much at the low, and he wants to see what his exit
AVXL,
would be.
sure, we could chart that.
So I'll put that on the list.
Yeah. All right. I do think we've seen the reversal on AVXL, but we'll take a look at it.
Well, the question is, how is this going to go? I hope. At least break even.
I think we bottomed on AVXL.
Yeah, no, I agree. We bottomed. The question is.
And whoever Marco wants to chart on Facebook, why not? Metaverse,
Facebook.
whatever.
Meta.
It keeps going down. It's like $200.
We'll do a meta chart. We'll do a meta chart on that.
We'll do a virtual chart. Yeah.
Right.
Very virtual.
We'll describe it with our hands.
Yeah. Is Zuckerberg a genius or a fool with this metaverse? What do you think?
Well, I think that he's got big fish to fry at the moment. But this notion, I think, like I'm hearing beer companies are getting into it. Sort of like, you can see a friend from across the country and have a beer with them.
That's interesting.
So it's sort of like you're not drinking alone, even if there's nobody in your house.
Yeah, but your friend can pick up the tab, can he?
No, that's true.
I guess he could.
Well, actually, that's a good idea. Maybe that would be part of it.
He probably could. Yeah, that could be part of it. He could pay for the beer.
Well, something in the app keeps track of who was the last one to buy, quote unquote buy. Because typically, in a text meeting, when you get with your friends, it ends up even over the days. Unless
so the S&P has turned it around. We're now up 0.32%. The Dow is up 0.63%. NASDAQ down up 0.59%. The Russell up a whopping 1.16%. Crude oil is now trading below 90 at 89.40, off $1.92 or 2.1%. Gold is up 0.38%. I think Bitcoin is down today, maybe. We'll take a look. Let's take a look at the cryptos. Okay, so Bitcoin is down 1289. Yesterday it was up 5%. Today it's down 2.98%. So it's a little bit of a yo-yo action over the last 2 days on Bitcoin. Ethereum was up over 5% yesterday, down 4% today.
Yeah.
Most of the coins, except for XRP, are down. XRP was up like huge yesterday, like I forget, 50%, 40%, it was some number. And now it's up another 3% or 2 pennies to 81 cents. So XRP is popping. And any other coins showing positivity? Dogecoin was up.
Well, SHIB was up this morning.
SHIB was up this morning. It was up yesterday big time. Now it's down 10%. So it's off big time as well. I think it was up 16% yesterday. So there's a lot,
had a nice run.
A lot of casino action on the cryptos. A lot of action.
Yeah, little by little, I'm finding people in their conversations. What parlay did you do? Parlez-vous parlay?
Yeah. And the two that interest me the most lately are Solana and Ethereum, the two that are being used for their blockchain onto all NFT transactions. And I think NFT is growing like crazy. Wasn't there a property that was sold as an NFT in Florida? I forget somebody's mansion or
really.
Everything's
happening. The actual mansion or a picture of it?
Everything has become NFT or whatever the word is. Is that a verb?
NFT. Well, it will be a verb soon.
Yeah, I think everything is becoming NFT. So I can't see how Ethereum and maybe Solana as well can miss. Solana is off 10%, 8% on the day. I don't know what
Yeah,
it
no,
was
and
yesterday. It's
definitely
more,
Ethereum is troughing.
it's more Ethereum in my mind, but
And
then
there's news that they
Solana,
changed their algorithm so they'll be more efficient going forward.
yeah. XRP, I don't know. It's just it's a runner, but it could go the other way tomorrow. So
Right.
Bitcoin, I think, is the Cadillac or the Rolls Royce, I should say, of all of these currencies, and we'll be here 50 years from now. Whereas the others, I don't know. Ethereum, I think, will be. So the top two, you know.
Algorithm. It'll eventually win out.
The top two, I doubt you'll have, SHIB will be a memory. SHIB is kidding around, right?
Right.
Kidding
Hard to
around.
speculate at this point.
It's
like when is back in 1995.
SHIB is not even getting a number to the right of the decimal point.
Because I was a Lotus player in 1995.
It's something like 0.000003 something or other. I mean, too many non-significant numbers, digits for me.
You just don't store them. You know that.
Yeah. Let's take a look at.
Just store the significant bits.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the markets. I want to look at trending tickers, see what's trending today. A lot of earnings every single day towards the end of the earnings season, but we still got another week and a half to go pretty much. Loaded up with earnings. Earnings on FLDM, the one I bought on the air on Friday, is earnings today. I'm up a little on that trade. I'm also up a little on the AVCO trade, but not as much as FLDM. All right, so let's look at those tickers.
Yeah, the people are jumping into a bit about BCRX.
I know. I'm going to chart it. I promise.
Okay.
I'm very happy about BCRX. I even added more today. I'm so ecstatic over it. Yeah. Good. I added more at the beginning of the year. You know, it's one of my top 5 picks. So I added more at the beginning of the year. I'm adding more. I added more today. Figure why not? It's one of my few good solid winners. Peloton is up 70% on takeover rumors.
Right.
No,
at least partnership.
Up 25%. Excuse me. $7.26 to 37. There goes our friend Arjun short. It's going up in smoke.
Oh yeah. I don't know if he's still short.
Let's look at this one. Teledoc.
A while ago.
Look at Teledoc, down another 7.5%. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Wasn't that over $300?
Some people in our audience like Teledoc a lot.
It must be down over 75%. Isn't that one of Kathy Wood's plays? She loves Teledoc.
Yes.
Kathy Wood's. Well, I don't know how much she's down, but from the top to where it is now, I believe it's about 75%. I think, from memory. And I don't think I'm off by much. If I am off, Pfizer's down today, and I don't know why does it take?
Their guidance was just tepid.
Why does it take?
Arc Innovations is down 1.5% today.
Which one?
Kathy Wood's Arc.
Oh, Arc. And look at Velodyne, our friend VLDR that we piled into in
Yeah.
the team.
Now I'm only down 75% instead of being down 80.
You still own that one?
Oh, yeah.
Up 8% today. I
Yeah.
believe it was Amazon buying in.
Yes. Or Apple. Apple, I think.
I think it was Amazon.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. And they're going to have a seat at the board. Maybe they'll just buy them eventually. And the others are all up in sympathy. LIDR and AEVA and all of the others. AEYE. They're all up.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
They're all up in sympathy. And EVgo is up today. The charging station.
Right.
It's up quite a bit today. GM is getting slaughtered today. I don't know
GM
why.
is down. Yeah. I don't know why.
PayPal continues.
They're thinking that they're saying chips are are in scarce supply, so that's going to cut down on the number of sales.
Yeah, that
But
was
again, they're still the only game in town. There are only just so many used cars out there.
That's true. But look at
So if Ford and
GameStop.
GM are saying the same thing, we have to worry.
Look at GameStop showing its resiliency after coming all the way down to 100, up 8.
I agree with you, Francis.
Up 8% today, with bouncing to 110. GameStop is still showing signs of life. It has a pulse. But PayPal, it's continuing to get drubbed as
I got in at the beginning of the year, and I'm just getting slaughtered.
Oh, gee.
Just hit after hit on that one. I know.
It's pitiful, that one.
It really is, because one would think that they own Venmo, and everybody's Venmoing everybody else.
Yeah.
They must be, so reminds me of that old joke. If they're losing so much money per customer, how are they going to actually become profitable? And the answer is volume.
Look at Amgen.
Nobody gets that joke, though. I'm the only one that's that joke.
Amgen flying today, up 7.3.
Yes, Amgen's up big today. Yep.
Interesting. Apple is taking a bid, up 2.31, 1.35%.
Yeah. And Amazon is still one of our favorites, I guess.
Amazon is over 3,200 again, right? It was just 2,700 a couple of days ago.
No, you told everybody to get in under 3, and they should have listened to you.
I told everyone to get in when it was getting drubbed the day of earnings.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. It was down 270.
I tweeted it out. I said, now is the time to buy Amazon. It's on sale.
Right.
It's overdone. That kind of thing. It was it was a real bargain. I picked up a couple. I didn't pick up a lot. I should have added more to my Amazon at 27 some change. I did add, but not as much.
At the trough of the pandemic, when you and I started the show. Well, you were doing the show a lot earlier, but when you and I was relatively new to our working together.
What was
it was 1,600. Pounding the table
that's what I was going to say. March of 2020 must have been around 1,700. Around
1,600. You were pounding the table.
Yeah. So I want to take a look at BCRX first.
Yeah, let's do that.
BCRX. Okay, let's stick it in here. BCRX. I'm very happy with the performance of BCRX.
Now, what do you think about this new person in the board? I guess it is the person who's from Biogen.
I don't make too much out of that. Do you?
Well, remember, Jake's warning was that while they were still being developing new stuff, he was liking it, but once they became a run-of-the-mill drug company, he didn't want to touch it. So the question is, does this make it more of a run-of-the-mill drug company?
Uh, I think the important question is Biogen a potential suitor? That
Oh,
would be the more interesting.
oh, oh. Okay.
I think there are a lot of potential suitors for this company as their earnings were clear and their sales of Orladeyo was very much understated, and now
Right.
it's being Stonehouse is coming up with realistic numbers that make it sound like a billion dollar drug. Well, it is a billion dollar drug. That's what he's saying, and it's going to happen sooner than later. So you got a
Right.
billion
And,
dollar
and,
drug.
and May thinks and May thinks that Biden would be better off buying Orinia than BioCrest.
Buy them both.
There you go. Take all that. Take all that. That money from the Alzheimer's drug.
You got to remember when this thing was 12 not too long ago. I kept saying 21 is by the next earnings call. It's
Right.
looking very likely that 25 might be the number by the next
But
earnings call.
Kamal is very, very bullish, and he's been saying so on his.
Kamal is correct to be bullish. I'm very bullish as well. I've never stopped being bullish on this one.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm still my biggest holding.
Yeah, it's one of my biggest holdings. It's not my biggest, but it's one of my biggest. And it met the line
Hey,
of
cabinet.
it met the line of resistance and bounced down a little off of it. It's
Hmm.
that's okay. It might take a few tries before it breaks out of that 1750 area. It goes above 1750. I think by 21 is in sight.
Right.
So it's banging against the upper trading range right now, knocking on the door. If it goes through that, $21. If the XBI ever turns north, $25.
Huh. Okay. Good.
So I don't mean, I don't mean 10 years from now. I mean 6 months from now.
Right. No, soon. I get it. I'm with you.
Yeah. All right. So I had a bunch of stuff on. FLDM is the one we bought, Arjun and I bought on the air.
Right. That's right. You did.
And I believe
How
they
you
have
doing with
earnings.
that?
I'm doing well. They have
Oh, look at that.
earnings. We bought
That
it on,
pennant is really showing itself a lot more strongly.
yeah. It's a nice bounce off the bottom, isn't it? Double
It certainly
bottom.
is.
Nice bounce. Real nice bounce.
Yeah, and the upward 9 is showing very nice support. Yeah, you don't even need to draw that.
I'm looking forward. I think earnings is. Did they come out with earnings, or is it after the bell?
I'm
Probably
not sure.
after
Is
the bell.
that today?
Yeah, it must be after the bell because there's no volume now.
Right.
I believe it's today. So if the earnings report is good and there's good news on the horizon, I think you'll see this one hit the 50 at least. That would be 360. I might sell at 360 because I actually bought a lot of it on the. Maybe I'll just cash it in, or cash in half.
Right.
Nowadays, with any profits have to be taken on biotech. They disappear
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah. I know. That's been so frustrating. You get a little bit of a high, and you're like, all right, let it ride, and then like you said, if the IBB like rolls, if the XBI starts drifting up and we start getting a little bit of news. When is Xanavex?
Anavex, I think, has seen the bottom. It's
Yeah, I agree with you.
put in what looks like a bottom to me, or potentially at least a bottom. I don't think it's going to go lower unless the data on the Alzheimer's drug is not good. But otherwise, I think we're going up from here through data readout.
Right.
And I don't know when that is exactly, but you got this key pivot right in here. So that's got to take out that 1330 area. Is that what this is? I think so. High today, 1340. 1340 area. Takes that out. Of course, there's further resistance as we go up because
Sure.
it's had a long fall from
Yeah, it's gonna be a
grace,
tough ride back, but I'm in this one.
The key wall, if you like, if you wish, is 1750. That's the wall that it's got to eventually take out. That's where it's fallen from. As soon as it broke the support area at 1750, was the time to get the hell out.
I know.
Yeah,
I never
that
did.
was the time to get out because there was no support at all. You see, look, it's so clear. There's no support below that 1750. When you look at the chart in retrospect, that was the time to bail. But now is not the time to bail. Now is the time to buy.
Now it's time to get back in.
Yep. What to add?
Did you want to do T-Doc or what are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry.
We should take a look at T-Doc. That's brutal.
Yeah, no, we have. It's on the list. But let's look at Amazon. It's on the list also.
Amazon up $45 today, 1.45%. This has been on a tear. Tremendous tear. After putting in a bottom, you know where the bottom was? Exactly the 50% retrace to the 2020 lows on the fib. It's a fib number. Why is 50% a fib number? It's really not, but it's considered to be. Okay, so we have a 50% fib retrace, or if you like, just a 50% retrace. It doesn't have to be fib. There's nothing fib about it, as far as I know.
Right.
But yet it's considered to be part of the fib retrace. Because a lot of these waves retrace halfway. That's why. It's a very common thing to stop halfway, and it did. Basically 2700 was the fib. 2702, I think, was the fib number, and it bounced right off of 2707. Came very close and bounced up. It tried to go down the day of earnings, and it did. But look at it the last 3 days, bouncing.
Well, because the earnings were good and the forward-looking stuff was good.
What repelled it was the 50-day. It's going to go through that 50-day. You see this chart with the 50 below the 100, below the 200? By the end of the year, the 50 will be on top of the 100, on top of the 200. This chart will invert to become bullish. And the number that I'm looking for is $4,000, probably before the end of the year. Amazon is got the Momo. The only thing that can derail it is the federal government. Otherwise,
yeah, I wouldn't worry about them. They're a little distracted right now.
Right now, but they love to pick on big tech, in particular Amazon.
Well, I don't know if it's a game winner for the next election. Maybe
And
during the
this should,
second team.
this should be $4,000 by May, let's say, maybe a little later. Let's say by May, be optimistic.
Okay.
And at
From
that point
Dr.
in
J's
time,
mouth to God's ear.
if it's 4,000 by May, I've been predicting this for a while. When it hits 4,000, you're going to get a huge stock split. Huge, 10 to 1. So it'll go down to 400, which is still trading too high. It could use a 20 to 1.
Yeah,
Get
well,
it down. Yeah, that may get
I
it
could
down.
see. I could see a 10 to 1 or 12 to 1.
Well,
Which
20
year?
20 to 1 would put
What I mean.
20 to 1 would put it at $200, which is a typical number. That's where Apple wound up after its
Right.
split. 20 to 1, not bad. So if you have 50 shares, you suddenly have 1,000 shares of Amazon.
I have one.
Well, then you'll suddenly have.
I'm happy with my one.
You'll have 40. All right.
The next one is T-Doc.
Yes, T-Doc is interesting.
And then Magnificent Answer is really dying for Sava.
Oh, sure. I just want to check to make sure Jake didn't pop in. No.
Oh, okay.
Because he said if he had time, he would.
Well.
I guess he's too big making money the old-fashioned way. He's earning it.
He's earning it.
Down 7%. Wow.
Yeah, and people were thinking this one would survive COVID because, for a lot of what you need, all you have to do is say, "Does this look infected?" on the camera, and then that's enough. You don't have to go all the way to
the weekly. The weekly is going to be shocking. What I tell you, $300. I knew it was over 300. 308. 308, and it bottomed. I don't know if it bottomed, but it made a low 2 days ago at 66.
Yeah, right.
Wow. It's about 75%. So I was correct. And it shows really no sign of really bottoming.
No, I mean, there's a little bit of a taper on the 9-day, but not. I wouldn't call that a turnaround just yet.
It looks like they're shorting the hell out of this one, and they're going to continue to short it, probably down to this key level here at $55. It looks like $55 is in the cards for T-Doc. Unless somebody decides this is a good takeout. Goodbye right here.
Oh.
But why
I'm still waiting for drugstore.com to come around.
Why would any company buy it now when they can buy it cheaper when it hits 55? Right. That's why it's not going to happen. It might eventually happen, but just like Peloton, it wasn't going to happen until it bottomed.
Right.
Now it looks like they're in play.
Well, yeah, I was just hearing that people were saying that their best property is the people, not so much their.
So I'm going to put $55.
They managed to manage that. Good.
My price target on Teledoc, $55.
All right.
What else?
Heard it here, folks.
What else? Peloton? Sava?
Yeah, let's not do Peloton just yet. I mean, we'll wait till Arjun is on. Find out how he did on his short plays.
He's getting killed with his puts.
Well, he was talking about stepping off a little bit on that whole strategy. I hope he did too.
He said he took a lot of profits, but he still has puts. All right, whatever he has left, he's getting massacred on Peloton. Exactly. Sava definitely found support at this $35 area. It's tested it a few times. It bounced off the 100 2 days ago as it sold off to a low of $33. This is weekly, so 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago, it found support at the 50-week moving average.
Hmm. Right.
And it looks pretty good. I mean, it bounced pretty nicely, and basically support is at that $35 area. Let's look at the daily. The daily shows a nice little comeback off the 3 weeks ago. Not bad at all. Nice little trend line forming. So, a little pullback to the trend line support is nothing. That's fine, and it's also the 50-day moving average that it's sitting on right now. Actually bounced off of it today, didn't it? The 50 is at, where's the 50? 45.05. And did it hit that today? I'm sure it did. It hit 44.60. So it bounced off the 50, and now it's trading over a buck higher. And even though we're down, it shows no signs of breaking its upward trend. Its recent recent momentum to the upside. The numbers it's got to take out. It's got to take out the 100, and it's got to take out this, if you want to call it, double top. But the key number is up here at the 200, 62.86. That's the one that it's got to clear to make a run to 100. But in the meanwhile, it's having a tough time with the 100, and is finding support right here now in the short term at the 50. So there's a narrow trading range between the 50 and the 100, and I think a break of either will tell the story. I'm betting on a break of the 100, but the 50 is again $45, and the 100 is 50 bucks. Let's call it. So between 45 and 50, you can expect in the short term on Saba. That's the short term. And what else do we want to look at? Peloton?
You have you have something called MSTR. I don't know what that is.
MicroStrategy.
A MicroStrategy. You had that. You had Ether. You had Tilray. You had
Tilray's
AABB.
Tilray has
And,
news today. Tilray merged
we had it across Facebook. What did Tilray do?
They merged part of the business that they bought from Afria together with their business. They're making a separate medical marijuana research. I don't know, merging the two together. But MicroStrategy is to me, it's a pure Bitcoin play. Forget the software business. They're highly leveraged, and if Bitcoin does what I think it's going to do, that is double by the end of the year from its recent lows, then this will double, more than double. It'll be like $1,000 by the end of the year. So if Bitcoin does what I think it's going to do, this will go to an even 1,000. I'm calling for MicroStrategy 1,000 by the end of the year, and Bitcoin I'm calling for, let's say, 70,000. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. By the way, it gapped up off this big green candle, very bullish. Bitcoin must be pretty bullish too. Let's take a look at BTC. I know it's down 1,000 today, right? We looked earlier.
We looked before at the performance. Chart shows a little bit more of a macro picture.
I can't find. What is the symbol?
Always use GBTC as the surrogate.
Oh, here it is. Bitcoin's low came just a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago. Oh, come on. Chart blinked off on me.
Right.
We're down a mere 2.71%. but we've run significantly off the recent low. So this is very minor pullback. It's a blip. Actually, the whole pullback off the highs on the long-term chart is going to look like a blip. But the low was 33,000, about half of its all-time high. So it had a 50% pullback from the highs to zero. Forget any recent lows, basically to zero.
Mm-hmm.
We're running. I mean, this is in a very bullish chart. It broke this key high back in wherever that was of 44,278. 44,278. Yeah, it broke that. It's trading below it now, but it broke it today. So even though it's a little negative today, it broke 44,278. It went as high today as 45,257. So even though we don't have the greatest looking candle today, it will find support at the 50, in my opinion, and we'll have a good day tomorrow. It does, the stocks don't go straight up. Even Bitcoin doesn't go straight up. So it's going up. That's almost for sure right now. The one thing I don't like is that it's been very closely correlated to risk on, risk off. I'd rather it had a mind of its own, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
But it has been very closely correlated. And the other thing I don't love is the 50 is having a death cross with the 200. No, that's the 100. The 100 is having a death cross with the 200. Don't love that. But, que sera, sera. Still, the chart looks very bullish, even with that. And what about overbought, oversold? I don't think it's either. It's not overbought. It's RSI about 60, roughly. So it's not overbought. It could run. I think it could run up to the 200 in the short term. Forget you know how bullish I am long term, but short term, it could be 49,000. The 200 day is 49,211. So I think 49,000 is a good target for this one. All right, is that it?
Well,
We done?
did you want to do Facebook?
Oh, Facebook. All right. Then
And you also have AABB if you wanted to do that one.
It's too much. I'll just do Facebook.
Okay.
AABB is up today, back over 10 cents.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting penny stock to watch, or even to play. Maybe add a little if you have a position. I've been adding a little. At nine pennies, I added 9. I saw under 10. I said, why not? I bought a little.
And NSAV hasn't been as nice to us.
I'm not doing. I did very well on what I cashed in, but my initial buy was 12 cents, so I'm actually a little behind on AABB. But we want to do Meta, and we'll end there.
Sounds good.
All right. All the Zuckerberg haters are very happy. Meta's down today.
Well, it's been down.
So many people hate Facebook. So many people hate him. Is it that they hate him?
What, Zuckerberg or?
Did I hate him or did I hate the company? I don't know.
Well, I mean, whenever you think social media, when they talk about how social media is ruining the world, the first thing you come to in your head is Facebook. You don't think about Snapchat.
Yeah, but it's so complicated with censorship issues. I mean, it's really not an easy thing. I don't know. I'm not that quick to blame the company. If they're doing things on purpose to instigate negative talk and negative articles and misinformation, that's one thing. But if they just allow freedom of speech, that's another thing. Where do you draw the line?
Well, that's the thing. They have algorithms to show you posts that you didn't ask for.
Well,
and so once they, once they step into that, they're actually taking a position about you.
Well, then is it an objective position or is it subjective? In other words,
well, no algorithm. No algorithm is objective. It's all based on what the coder writes.
No, let's say they keep track of what your bent is. If your bent is right-wing stuff, they'll show you right-wing stuff. I don't think they're trying to convert you if you're a liberal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I have right-wing friends, so they're still showing me what right-wing stuff. Some of which are objectionable, but it's not because of me. It's because of the friends they're tracking. So I don't know what's in their algorithm, but I do know that they have formulated an opinion about me.
I don't really have an opinion on Facebook. I don't use it. I'm rarely on it. The only time I'm on it is for Parkinson's groups. So I mean, to me, I can't speak really as a Facebook expert, but I'm a freedom of speech type guy. So I'm not sure where my position is on this. But today's candle is very yucky. Let's get back to the chart.
That's not today's candle, though, just so you know. Today's candle is way lower than that.
Oh, yeah. Well, this yucky candle was for bows.
Forewarning.
Forewarning, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man, yeah, much lower. So the Zuckerberg haters are really happy. I don't know where this thing is going.
It doesn't look like we've bottomed in any kind of way.
No, it's very scary. It's very scary. I wouldn't want to stay in this one if I owned it. I don't own it. I never owned it. No, I did own it when it first came at public, and I made some money on it. But that's a long time ago, and I haven't owned it since. So I don't think. Maybe briefly.
Right.
But it's of very little interest to me personally. But if you're in this one, probably would sell or at least write puts to protect. So I mean that
was right. That's the strategy.
My opinion is strictly my own. It does not constitute investment advice. Our opinions do not constitute investment advice, and are strictly our own. And you should check with an advisor before acting. But if you own this one, good luck.
Or condolences, depending on how long you've had it.
All right, so they had a little crisp show. We did good. We did a decent time. We're under the hour, right?
Yep.
All right, so it's time to say Asta Friday, whatever Friday is, I forget.
Yeah, right.
How do you say Friday?
I probably won't be there, so you and Arjun could have a good time.
Oh, okay. Me and Arjun will have a good time, or maybe Jake will come on.
Wonderful.
And MA said Jake stopped buying bio stocks, and there's no buying volume in any ever since.
Yes, exactly. All those people who followed him.
Yeah.
That's why your XBI is so
very nice show. Very nice show. Thank you all for coming. Hasta Friday, whatever that is. I have to study my Spanish.
Hasta Luigi.
Ciao.